Hello everyone, welcome to today's video, welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Jessica and I'm really working on destigmatizing what bodies should and shouldn't look like and just like existing in yours and being happy. So that's what that first clip was all about. Okay, this morning for breakfast, I started with a steak. I topped it with a whole bunch of slaw that I had sitting in my fridge, some pickled red onions, some Italian flavored pickled radishes, and then I also added some fermented red onions on top. So just the same way you would make sauerkraut at home, I did this with red onions. It was cool, it was fine. I added a lot of fucking Parmesan cheese. I would definitely do the same thing again. And I plated that with some eggs and black pepper and yummy. Okay, the salted caramel matcha was a trip because the flavor was so good, and obviously it's a matcha and, you know, milk and all that stuff. It's really, really yummy, right? But there wasn't enough water in this part you're watching right now, me whisking everything together, for the bone broth protein to not be gooey. Like it's like gelatin essentially. So if you don't put enough water in with it, it's gonna be weird, it's gonna be slimy, and I definitely wouldn't do it this way again. This brand, Ancient Nutrition, has a fuck ton of other different products that are more like granulated and dissolvable, but this bone broth rendition I would really only use again in a smoothie because it can blend all the way through and you wouldn't notice any weird gelatinous. But anyway, the flavor was amazing. It was really yummy, but I literally had to keep adding milk. Like I had to keep topping it off because it was like literally still slimy. So not cool, wouldn't recommend. The idea was cool, the flavor was good. I keep saying that. Okay, this breakfast was super delicious, super nourishing, but I didn't want to sit there and eat everything, so I took my time, danced around, and just enjoyed the flavors while I waited to get full. My K-tip hair extension remover tools just came in and I cannot fucking wait to use them. I'm gonna make a matcha really quick, a protein matcha, so my body has something to repair itself a little from my workout. But I don't even want to cook breakfast right now. I just want to get these out of my head. So let's do it. Okay, this is my classic vanilla matcha. Super easy, really delicious. Obviously it's nourishing, otherwise I wouldn't be making it for you. I just whisk together my matcha, my vanilla collagen, with some hot water, and then I take a scoop of honey and let it dissolve in that mixture. And I pour it over iced milk, and it's that easy. It comes together in like, I don't know, a couple of minutes. It's really, really simple, and I definitely recommend it if you're newer at matcha. Try something like this just so you don't have to overcomplicate everything and get like stressed out, because no one wants to get stressed over a cute little bed. Ooh. Guys, okay, so I got the first one out, which is really cool, but you know what's not really cool? Fuck! Let's just keep going. Oh my god, what's happening? Oh my god, it didn't take all of my hair. Oh my god, I did it. You guys, I did it! Ah! Ooh, it looks like it did take quite a bit of my hair. Oops. That was section 1 of 4. So I split my hair into 4 different sections. Guys, I know this looks bad, but this is actually just what my hair looks like. It has a natural wave pattern to it, and if I brush it out, it's just fluffy bleh. It's just boring. It feels so feel my fucking hair and know that this is me and this is how I come. Oh, I'm gonna cry. So that took me about 20 minutes. So I'm gonna be here a while. I will say, a lot of my hair came out. And if I went to an actual salon, I know goddamn well those professionals would be able to save a lot more hair than I am. I know there's people who regularly get extensions in and out and their hair is so beautiful and healthy. Maybe I wasn't as careful as I should have been. I think with the top of my hair, the top parts, I will be more careful just because any breakage up there is gonna like literally point up to the sky. So that'll probably take me a little bit longer, but okay, ready? Oh my god. You guys, it feels like there's no hair here. I forgot how thin my hair is. It feels like a little puffball. I think I'm just gonna keep going because honestly, this doesn't suck as bad as I thought it would. So let's go from this to...
It makes sense, but you're so excited.
Going from those extensions to my hair, it feels like I have no hair. Like it's super fluffy and light, but like when I like it just feels like there's nothing here. I love it. I forgot how much I love my natural hair, and I think it really took me doing this to fall in love with me again. So that's cool. I'm not sure I ever really was in love with me and my own hair, so I just went through and conditioned my roots. Oh wait, no, that's not. My ends, conditioned the ends of my hair, and I'm gonna let it air dry, drip dry, air dry, because that's how my curl pattern shows up best. If I get out of the shower and brush my hair and towel dry my hair, it'll get frizzy, the curls will show up, but not pretty. So yes, watch this turn into... If I wait until it's literally fucking like 100% dry and then I put hair oil in, that's how the curl stays really nice for like a few days and then eventually turns into a nice wave.
So that's what we're gonna do here.
I grew up in a really big family and I wasn't really taught, or I didn't really observe anyone cooking like single meals for like one person. It was all just like batch stuff. So even though I am one person right now, that's not how I was programmed. So I am making a big old batch of mushroom stroganoff, and I'm also roasting these chickens in the oven, and I'm just gonna have them like kind of on the side as I go along. I definitely won't be mixing them in with the stroganoff, you know, because that's how I do. Sorry, I just said that. That was really embarrassing. Anyway, yes, fuck garlic powder. Anything that like clumps when you try to mix it, that's not cool. Get the granules, make life easy. Okay, I put those in the oven and then I got to work chopping all of the mushrooms, all of the onions, and you know, a couple years back when I was really getting into cooking and I was like, that's it. I don't want to be intimidated by onions. I don't want to be intimidated by cutting veggies. I just want to do it in the correct way and like really learn how to cut stuff. Being patient in the kitchen, being patient with learning new skills is so worthwhile because I'm like literally meditating right now while doing all of this in front of you. This is my peace, this is my joy, this is my quiet time, this is where my brain analyzes things and goes over the day. This is what I like, you know? And I would say I developed this skill. I wasn't like this before I started cooking and cutting stuff. I had to learn, had to find my way, but anyway, I don't know what the fuck I was just talking about, but this pan was way too goddamn small. I don't know why I chose to do it. Of course, half the mushrooms decided to stick to the bottom of it because it was already preheated. Anyway, I just put those, oh my god, I am so sorry. I just put those in the pan on like medium-high heat, and I'm gonna let them sweat because mushrooms are really, really moist. They are full of water, and if you let them sweat all of their water out, then they're able to soak up whatever you put them in after they've already released all of their moisture. Anyway, so once they're basically done sweating, I added in my onions so that they could also sweat because they weren't going to take as long as the mushrooms were. And I let those saute together, and then I added in that microplaned garlic. It's kind of a paste now, but you don't want to cook your garlic for too long, too hot, because you don't want it to burn. So I probably tossed this around for like 45 seconds to a minute before I deglazed the pan with this white wine, which was really interesting. When you deglaze, normally the brown bits that are stuck to the bottom like come right off, but they like didn't. So I kept adding more wine, and then I just said fuck it, and I put my bone broth in, and in the end it all worked out just fine. But yeah, I was a little confused in the moment. I added my bone broth in, and I kind of just let it all simmer and mix together and incorporate. I like when stuff, you know, simmers and incorporates. I put a generous amount of salt. I should have used the other side of this pepper shaker because the one I did use made that look really hard, and it was. A fuck ton of oregano. I added a bay leaf and a couple dashes of cayenne. I didn't have red pepper flakes, so I used gochujang pepper flakes. It's a Korean red pepper. Not sure that it's super similar to like Italian red pepper flakes, but you know, it's all I had, so it's what I used. I always like to do a taste test, just make sure everything is at least salty enough. Not really for the flavors, but like just so I don't undersalt something, because if you can't taste something, like what's the fucking point in eating it? I don't know what called me to put this butter in here like I did, like a fucking monster, but you know, this is exactly my style. This is what I do when I'm in the kitchen, so I just figured I'd be honest and show you. I don't like to use cornstarch. I like to use arrowroot starch. I like to use agar. I don't like corn, especially American corn. I don't trust it. I have no trust in it at all. But can I tell you what arrowroot is? Not 100%, okay? So that's just me being honest and real with you, and that's my thought process. I added in the rest of the heavy cream I had left in this container, and then once again, after I mixed it around, I just let it come back to a simmer, because that's how you incorporate all the flavors. I did not have enough Parmesan cheese, and I was super fucking sad when I realized it, but whatever. I added it in later when I bought more and I reheated everything. I like to add green peas into stuff, extra fiber, extra protein, extra yummy, because green peas are fucking yummy and super cheap and easy, you know, to incorporate. I gotta stop saying the word incorporate. I really apologize. I like almost refused to take a fucking cutting board out to cut 3 pieces of fruit. So if you noticed, I cut most of the way through and then like lifted it off the counter and like got all the way through it. Anyway, it's like something annoying I do that it doesn't look good, but it's the truth. It's honestly what I do. Maybe if you're gonna do something like this, wait for the meat to cool down before diving your fingers into it. I was like struggling this whole time, but I don't know. That's just how I work. I'm like, let's touch the really hot thing and see if the next time we touch it, it's not as hot. It was. It hurt. I got burned. Maybe don't do that. I topped this with pickled red onion. I also didn't have any more Parmesan cheese, as I told you, so I put this fermented black garlic cashew cheese on, and busting. It busted. It was amazing. I will do it again. You might be wondering why when I turn around I look so naughty, like I'm doing something naughty. It's because I feel weird that showing everyone that I like to not make more than one trip. I just look like a little hoarder, and maybe that's what I am. Anyway, this is my hot jasmine matcha. It's super easy. Instead of using hot water to mix the matcha and collagen, I just use jasmine tea, and it gives that yummy floral element. It feels fancy. It feels like you just went out for a fancy little drink, and that's kind of why I like it. I also threw some almond extract in the milk as I was heating it up on the stove. I now have a milk steamer, but I almost prefer to just do it on the stove. I don't know why. This yogurt, I said it was my second favorite, but I gotta be really honest, with the flavor they made this one, it might be my first favorite. I think they're a little fizzy if you've never had cocoa yogurt, but still super yummy. And peach nectarine, shut the fuck up. Okay. Sorry, I won't say that to you again. Mama. Sweet little mama kitty. Oh, so lucky. Yes, I almost got that milk everywhere, heating it up on the stove just to pour it all over the counter. And this is what I do in the kitchen, and if that stresses you out, I just need you to know it's not going to stop anytime soon. It's how I function, it's how I work, and I just try to work with me and not against me. Yeah, there we go. You know, I could have predicted this, you know, I could have put less milk, I could have stopped pouring the matcha when I realized it was gonna be too full, put it in a different cup, but not my style. Okay, these salted caramel peanut butter chocolate covered balls were kind of naughty, I'm not gonna lie to you. Every time I had one, I had to have 3, so, you know, be careful, be mindful with yourself making something like this to snack on. I love a good smoothie, and it has been so long since I made myself just a blueberry smoothie. I threw some pineapple in here because, you know, I had some, and why not? And it just honestly made it a little bit sweeter, so I enjoyed it, but I couldn't really taste it that much. In full transparency, being a full-time YouTuber, I get bored, and I took the advice from Emma Chamberlain and learned something new. So embarrassing, but I don't want to lie to you. And I got this guitar, and I've been taking guitar lessons online, and I've been having a fucking hoot of a time. And that's all. And that's all I came here to say. I would say this is the one recipe I have been meaning to share with you for a very long time, and I'm so glad I finally took the time and remembered to actually make it for you, because this is one of those recipes that you kind of just keep in your mind for the rest of your life, because it's so potent with health and benefits. It's so delicious and powerful. The flavor is intense, and it just brings my mouth like water. I don't know what the fuck I just said, but I think you know what I meant. You start by de-stemming kale. I meant to do that in front of you and like show you more, but unfortunately I didn't. I was a little out of frame, and then I cut it up. Normally I would just tear it, but I did not fucking feel like doing that. So then I squeezed on a whole bunch of fresh lemon juice. I like the fresh kind because life force energy, babe. But if you don't have it, that's totally fine. Just use whatever you have. So I do the acids, the lemon juice, the apple cider vinegar, the shoyu, and then I also did some olive oil. And then I just started massaging. So you want to break down the kale before you eat it, because if you're not going to cook it, kale is a cruciferous veggie, and our bodies were not meant to digest this stuff. So if you massage it down and you start essentially pre-digesting it, that's really helpful, and your body can actually do something with it if you eat it. I microplaned in some fresh ginger. I did some salt, some pepper. I've got some cayenne going in there. I put in some turmeric. I also put in some oregano after this. And my favorite part of the whole salad, the spirulina. I normally just do a dark, deep green spirulina, but I also had blue this time. And I only wasted a little bit of it. Anyway, I start massaging that again once everything's in there until everything is super well incorporated and it starts kind of creating a brine. Whew. Oh my god. I'm gonna add some more soy sauce just for more of that umami flavor. I'm gonna add more lemon just to zing it up a little. And then I'm gonna squish it down really tight into a jar or a container and put it in the fridge, because this is best when it's marinated for like a long time, like a couple of days, even a week. But it's also best when the leaves have time to like really soften up. If you noticed, I squeezed the shit out of them, but you know, taking a first bite, they're still pretty hard to chew. So yeah, I want this kale to be super digestible. I want my body to be able to use it, and I want it to be fun to eat. Fuck, it smells so good. This is the most vibrant smelling salad I've ever fucking heard of, tried, made. In the same way that you would probably do this with sauerkraut, I shoved it all into a jar, like fit the entire 3 stalks of kale into this jar with the rest of that brine. I tried to get everything in there, and then I packed it down as tight as I could so that hopefully most of the kale would be sitting in the brine and not be just like on top, where it could possibly get moldy quicker. And of course, after I weirdly cleaned up the jar, I added in more stuff, like more fresh squeezed lemon juice and some brown sesame seeds and some hemp seeds, and I meant to add all of that in before I did that, but I didn't, so here's the reality of that.
She's too cute.
Alright, you guys, this is the end of today's video, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were able to take at least one positive thing from it, and the main point of me making this channel is just to inspire you and show you it's easy to get in the kitchen. You don't have to have a background foundation of anything. You can jump in anytime, and if I can do it, I swear to God, you can do it too, and I'm right here with you. Okay, I hope you have a really good rest of your day.